the key thing for everybody to understand is that this is the same thing that we have seen, and I'm talking regarding the support from the people in the diaspora of that country. So what we're seeing now with Iranians in the diaspora that seem supportive or supportive of what the US is doing is the same reason that Venezuelans and Cubans that live here and are in the diaspora are supportive of what we do in their countries, because these are the wealthy, privileged people of those countries that, for the most part, left those countries or were banished, exiled, felt they had to leave in those countries' respective revolutions. So in Iran, it was 79, so you have a generation of people that were doing really well in the regimes, in those respective regimes prior to their revolutions. So when you see Iranians that are supporting the United States, please note, it's a small group, it is a privileged group, and it are people that benefited from the oppression of the people that stood up in their revolution in 79. Same as in Venezuela and Cuba. So I'm not, again, I don't have a horse in that race, but it's a very biased situation from those people.
The problem is that a friend of mine is from Tehran, and he's for their liberation. And even though we've had lengthy conversations about the fact that the West should not be involved in any capacity when it comes to this, then okay, so I was right. This person, once again, I'm going to say this to everybody. I'm going to say this to everybody who comes in here and wants.
Where are they finding us? How are these people finding us?
Don't worry about that. The point is that if this is what you believe, if you believe that we need boots on the ground, then get your ass down to the military recruitment office and get over there yourself. Do not fucking depend on saying. Listen, I am extremely libertarian for a number of reasons. The first of which is you will not conscript anyone to do anything for you. You want something done? Go do it yourself. You want boots on the ground? Hey, the recruitment line's right out the door, baby. And let me tell you, the United States military, they are going to really need a lot of volunteers like you signing up very soon, if not already. So that's where we're at.
And I'm curious though, what is the basis for the accusation that Iran is killing all the innocent people? Because my understanding is that they were killing infiltrators and agents and people that were trying to infiltrate their government. That's my understanding.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. You also have to remember, and again, I don't want to put Saul on the spot, but you have a lot of people from very privileged positions, like, he's a teenager with a cop father and shit like that. Yeah, unfortunately, in a lot of cases, this is just kind of how it is. Now, for anybody who's been following us, and especially me for the past several years, knows that I cannot stand woke politics. It drives me absolutely insane. But do not think for a second that privilege does not exist. You want to know what privilege is? You want to know what real privilege is? Saying that somebody else should go and fight a war and die in for your safety. That's privilege, if there ever was. And it's racism in many respects, because you do not see this as anything other than, well, who cares about the Iranians? Who cares about the Palestinians? That's why I went after Kat her name, whatever the fuck her name is, saying that, but we definitely still have to support Ukraine and everything that they need. There is just a total disconnect from a lot of people when it comes to understanding the circumstances that you're faced with. You believe in something so much and you should go fight. I have always said, if anybody came to my shores, to the United States, and brought harm to the citizenry, I would stand up and fight. That's different, because I could care less about protecting the United States government. The United States government is likely going to fall in the not too distant future, most likely in our lifetimes. And if that is the case, there is going to be a revolution, which is going to bring it about. It's going to happen either way because of the financial situation that we're living in, especially with our de-dollarization that will continue to get even worse as we now are staring down the barrel of World War III. But I also think
people are not, I don't think, understanding the gravity of the situation. that's what I was about to get into before. I don't think a lot of people, especially not people that would just sit and watch mainstream media, are really aware of what is about to unfold and the hornet's nest that we just hit with a baseball bat. And I think it's important to know these things.
And knocked it wide open.
I think that people don't necessarily realize, and it's not just the equivalent of murdering the leader of a sovereign state. It's not just that. It's like murdering the Pope.
Yeah.
And so we are now, it isn't just the people in Iran that are rebelling and standing up against us right now. It's Pakistan, it's Iraq, it's everywhere. And it's only going to get worse. And this is what comes from the people that are pulling strings, having zero understanding of the people, of the culture, of the land, and they don't care to. Everything is just like a real estate transaction to them. It doesn't matter to them. So, and we'll see how much the fallout affects those people. But what's going to happen to the regular people here from this is going to be a disaster that people can't even fathom.
Yeah, you're right. Colin, do you have that? Load up that clip. So here's where we're going to start tonight, guys. And since it is currently about midnight for our friends over in the UK, you'll appreciate that this is where we're going to start this evening. So here's an unheralded story that isn't getting talked about very much. We're going to have a lead into this, but in the United States, we are conscripted, if you will, into a two-party duopoly where, because of the infrastructure that we are faced with, it is very difficult to really build the infrastructures through the Green and Libertarian parties, respectively, that this country desperately needs. But in the UK, it is a parliamentary system, and they still have a difficult time trying to break through the dominant two-party system between the Labour Party and the Tories. However, something pretty universally substantial happened this past week. The Green Party of the UK actually broke through with a monumental by-election victory in Westminster, no less. And so this is apparently changing the entire format of how politics is going to be done in the UK. Now, we all saw that President Macron of France has already agreed to provide military aid to Israel. They have already sent tankers. Oh, there you go. Maverick. So,
okay.
Was Keir Starmer of the Labour Party going to do the same? This is what he said earlier today in front of the UK Parliament.
Exposing our military personnel to action that risks their lives, making sure that it is lawful before we ask them to do that. I think that is the duty of the Prime Ministers. A previous Prime Minister has taken exactly the same approach. I will, of course, read the Shadow Attorney's advice, but I'm very clear in the advice that I received, and I will not commit our military personnel to unlawful action. That is not what they would expect and deserve. They are entitled to better than that.
Now, why would Starmer make this statement saying we are not going to involve the UK military in any of these actions? Now, keep in mind, you would think of all the places that the UK would have the hardest time disassociating themselves with would be with Israel. Of all the nations on earth that have stood, listen, it's the United States and Israel. But exactly. If there is a second country, it's England. They're number two. Yeah. Good point. And what very often happens is that the direction that the elections typically go in the UK, like Brexit, was the preempt to what ultimately led to the Trump victory. Now, will this particular victory lead to something substantial? Who knows? But I bring it up because this is, without question, from The Guardian, an earth-shattering political realignment that just happened in the UK. This is not something that is to be belittled. This is tremendously huge, really big, really incredible. You've never seen anything like this before in your life. Well, apparently in the UK, they haven't seen it either. Let's see if I can't get this damn. Go buy your silver and gold, people. Green Party membership in UK passes 200,000 after by-election victory. Party leader Zach Polinsky says surge in numbers proves that the future of progressive politics belongs to the Greens. You know what else it belongs to? Except he should go to a dentist. He really should. Okay, so we can't even read this. So that was just one. We're going to do this one instead. Starmer hits out at the extremism of Green Party and Reform UK.
Okay, so to be clear, and people in the chat that are UK people, the Green Party is not a radical party, right? Right? Like your Green Party there, it's I mean, I'm sure it's like a left of center thing, but please let me know. I mean, I have a feeling it's not very extreme.
No, it's a left party, but there is a reason why they won. The reason they won is because unlike the two other primary parties in the UK, they distinguish themselves as being anti-war, anti-genocide, and anti-Israel. Most people who know the Greens know that they're a, well, there you go. Green Party leader is a gay, Jewish, pro-Palestinian gentleman. I'd say that that's a pretty good distinction right there.
That's helpful to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Saul. A lot of Corbyn supporters jumped ship and are doing new things. And that's the beauty of a parliamentary system. In the UK, they have, I believe, 6 parties. I mean, in the United States, you have more than 2 parties, but only 2 parties have infrastructure. Like legitimate.
Well, okay, wait, back up. But my understanding is that in the UK, while there are multiple parties, it's still somewhat of a duopoly.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I know that they have it where they get more representation party-wise in the parliament, the way their system is set up, that they at least have some representation from those parties based on how their system is. But I don't think that it's anything that different than our duopoly here. So a Green person winning at that level is a very big deal.
Sir Keir Starmer urged Labour MPs to unite behind his leadership and embrace the mainstream majority following a significant by-election defeat. The Green Party's Hannah Spencer won the Gorton and Denton by-election, becoming their 5th MP, while Labour finished in 3rd place. I'm Green Party US, Green UK are not socialists left. Are Russophobes? Oh, goodness. Getting a whole bunch of stuff here. But Tories are dead. The new second party is Reform. Okay, that's good to know. But but Nigel Farage's Reform Party, the Tories, just finished in 2nd place, and Labour finished in 3rd. Okay. Listen, our trusted Irishman is going to let us know exactly what's really going on. The Green Party, Starmer's standing among MPs was reportedly boosted by his handling of the situation involving Trump and Iran, where he advocated for international law. He cautioned against the extremism of the Green Party and Reform UK, who secured 1st and 2nd positions respectively in the recent by-election. Starmer highlighted Labour's commitment to progressive change through new legislation on unemployment rights, renters' rights, and investments in the NHS and clean power. Green are only chance to beat fascist reform. I am Green Party Unit US. Okay, so again, with the labels, people. The Reform Party recently lost to Green Party candidate. Well, there you go. But this type of stuff doesn't happen in the United States. That's the point. Is that it? I guess that's it. So can't get a damn news source of The Independent without having to sell a whole bunch of stuff. But Fascist Reform already said they want to start an ICE-type agency in UK like the US. Look, you have to have an understanding about certain types of immigration policy that works for the citizenry. At the same time, Western capitalism is collapsing all over the globe.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big part of the problem.